Good afternoon. Welcome back, to Passion and World Talk Radio Network, a wholly owned subsidiary of Global Media Network LLC. Educate, enlighten, entertain, and let's not forget mindfulness. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about an article written by Brittany Anus, which was published on February 26th in House Beautiful. And the title of her article was Beware of Title Pirates. This new real estate scam could cost you, big money. So, what happened? It involved a realtor, a licensed realtor, and a broker owner of Thrive Realty. And it began when she reached out over her email expressing interest. I'm putting up a piece of vacant land for sale. Miss Hanner, Hanner. The list price that was suggested was slightly below market value, enough to interest and attract somebody like Miss Hanner, but not enough for her to be suspicious. However, as she says, again, nothing that seemed wildly unusual. In today's world, plenty of real sellers start conversations over email, text, or through an agent's website. It's how we do business, unquote. And that's how she was scammed. But this time, her intuition that something was off finally nudged at her when the seller wouldn't meet in person or take a phone call. Hannah decided to drive out to the property in Leander, a suburb of Austin, Texas. And that's when it happened. The land she was being asked to sell was next to other vacant lots, all owned by the same person. She was able to track it, the actual landowner, who had a home on an adjacent lot, and he knew nothing of this potential sale, and in fact had no intention of selling his property. Left unchecked, this buyer could have wired hundreds of thousands of dollars to a fake seller, and the title insurance could have been on the hook to pay for the expenses. Title pirates, scammers who hijack property ownership to make quick, illegal sales, are becoming an increasing concern, particularly as real estate transactions shift to the digital platform. According to Ms. Hammer, this type of scam highlights a significant vulnerability in public records and raises an important question. Why is it so easy for bad actors to steal a property title in the first place? And this is what real estate experts want you to know about how to spot this fast-growing scam. The majority of people who are looking to buy a home set up showings for sale house and tour open houses with their real estate agents. There's usually no questions as to who really owns these homes. The title pirate scam has historically been more likely to infect investors looking to buy up land, out of town buyers doing a sight unseen purchase, or those who are looking to buy a lot for a new build home. Vacant land, second homes, rental properties, or any home where the owner isn't actually present has been the prime target for title pirates, Hanner says. But according to the real estate professionals that this gentleman talked to, title pirates have become increasingly brazen in recent years. A Los Angeles real estate agent, Wesley Kang, founder of Realtor 1099 Cafe, said one of his clients was going through a divorce, and during the chaos, a scammer monitoring county records filed a fake deed on the couple's house. They're getting scary, sophisticated, he said. So, how can a scammer get a hold of your home's title so easily? These scammers grab your information off of public records, fake some signatures, pay off a sketchy notary, and boom, they've bought your house or land on paper. Unfortunately, once that fake deed gets filed, it can appear like the real deal to banks, title officers, buyers, and real estate agents. Title fraud is on the rise. In 2023, the FBI received about 900,000 complaints of real estate related crime. And of these, more than 9,500 were for title fraud, according to the FBI Internet Crime Report that David Swawatsky, AWADZKI, Executive Vice President of Business Development of Chicago-based Proper Title, points to. These scammers, he said, are working around the clock to find any weaknesses in the home buying and selling process, and their technique gets more sophisticated as they're using artificial intelligence to generate fake documents that are harder to detect. It takes an extremely vigilant title insurer that stays educated on the latest techniques to spot these scammers. In Florida, Kevin Tacher, Tacher, founder and CEO of Independence Title, has become a pro at catching title thieves. And the state attorney on fraud cases. In 2018, Sting, a title pirate, forged a warranty deed and posed as the seller of a property. Tetcher immediately noticed red flags in the paperwork, such as mortgage that had been paid off 6 years before it was recorded with the county clerk. The scammer refused to connect Tecker with the actual homeowner who he purportedly was representing. On months when Tecker's team handles 50 to 75 closing, he estimates that 5 to 7 of them were scams that he successfully flagged and prevented. As part of their due diligence, his team sends letters to the property owner's registered address to verify the legitimacy of the sale. They also perform reverse phone number searches to catch any discrepancies. So, what are the flags that have become so you can see what they do and be on the lookout for? Jennifer Haskins, an attorney at MacArthur Law in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Her firm focuses on estate planning, real estate, and elder laws. Here are some present and potential indicators of title fraud, according to Haskins. 1, the seller is not willing to meet in person. If someone refuses to meet with you in person or does not want to give you a tour of the property, then there's a good chance that they may not actually have the authority to sell that property. 2, agents who are not licensed. If the party claims to be a real estate agent, you can research their company to determine whether it seems legitimate and call the company directly, asking to speak to the individual that you have been discussing the sale with. 3, low sale prices that seem too good to be true. Scammers often lure victims in with enticing deals and great prices that seem too good to be true. If the price is surprisingly low or the agent makes promises of extremely favorably financing, they may be trying to scam you. 4. The seller is not willing to provide details of the property when asked. Whether they're claiming to be the homeowner themselves or a real estate agent, any seller should know and be able to provide information about the property that's available to them. If the seller cannot answer basic questions about the property, this may be a cause for concern. 5. There's a strong urgency to close quickly. Having a strong sense of urgency may be one of the clearest indicators of a scam. While there may be some legitimate reason for a homeowner to want to sell their property quickly, if they're not allowing you to conduct reasonable checks, then you should take a step back and examine their legitimacy more carefully. You should be able to tour the property, request a third party inspection, and ask a detailed questions about the history of the property. If they don't do that, run. Another red flag is scammers often insist on using their own notary instead of one vetted by the title company. The scammer will often come up with excuses about why they're unavailable to the notary, such as being out of the country or at the hospital with a family member. How can you stop pirates? You've got to slow down just enough to ask the questions scammers don't want you to ask. That means insisting on phone calls and video verification, verifying identities through multiple sources, comparing signatures with county records, cross checking seller details, and involving trusted title companies that know what to look for. And if a seller pushes back, if they refuse to meet you, refuse to follow standard procedures, that's not just a red flag, that's a deal breaker. So, based on that, ladies and gentlemen, you should be able to protect yourself from having your titles pirated, and worse yet, to protect yourself from falling into a scam. Scam Damnation is brought to you by Conscious Research Solutions. Check us out at passionateworldtalkradio.com/research made simple blog. There you will pick up on daily tips to help you with research, and also you can arrange for a 15-minute free consultation with one of our research assistants who'll be more than happy to answer any question and provide you with what you really need. It's a no-brainer, and it's everything at one fell swoop. Bring your questions, bring the material. We'll provide you with a contract and with a form to fill out with the research information you want done for you. It'll save you time. It's a good investment. If you don't know how to look for information, we do it for you. We provide you with a bibliography. We can provide you with keywords and phrases for further search. And more importantly, we put that content we find for you into a report so that you can reuse the material to help you in your future endeavors. The other company sponsoring us is called Ruby AI. And just go over to the website aiwithlillian.com. It will take you over to a website that explains what Ruby AI is, with testimonials and also with a quick demonstration of what AI can do for you. Sign up for a monthly subscription. You won't regret it. And if you're like me, you don't have any regrets, because once it's done, it's in the past. And we're talking about your future. Everybody's using it. Yes, sadly, even the scammers. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great afternoon. And I'll see you next week.